brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
We're a little more offensive than we've been, I would say, as far as hitting the ball over the fence. Some of that's weather-driven. On the pitching side, it's been a little more of a group effort than just one or two or three guys. You know, I think we've had years where it was starter-driven. We've had years it was bullpen-driven, and this has been pretty much an equal effort out of it.
You can't say enough about how disciplined they were. I mean, we hit the ball, and we hit the ball hard, and I think, you know, them pulling her in the third inning says a lot about our lineup.
On the ground, left side. So Smith made a good pitch. He had Garcia off balance, but Michael gets it in between third and short. And Bobby Witt Jr. comes to the plate, 1-0 Royal.
We just have each other's backs. You know, we know what type of baseball we play. We play hard, we're gritty. You know, we'll always fight till the end. And that's the team we are. We always have our pitchers' backs for sure. You know, they've been doing their job all year, and the offense is starting to get going now.
It runs out. Brown grabs it. 7 seconds left. Westbrook, 5 seconds. They're down by 1. Gordon got it. Aaron Gordon with a deep shot. Williams, three-quarter court. No good. The Nuggets steal game 1.
The Celtics shot 63s in game 1. 60. 6-0, and missed 45 of them. That is an astonishing clip. All of these are NBA postseason records, just so we're clear. This is what we get, and this is what we deserve now as NBA fans.
That's their relationship with him. They can say whatever they want. We all can look at it and think what we think. And I think that you have to think about this as a legal issue.
Swinging a high fly ball to right center field. Carroll going back. No turn. Just watch this one fly into the pole in right center field. A 3-run home run for Francisco Lindor.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Steve Webster with you in the Mayo Money Management Studios today, joined by executive producer Landon Winkler running the video stream, and also here to fix things if they're broken. But so far, so good on the show. Thanks for joining us today. On the program today, we're going to be recapping yesterday's wonderful game. It was an outstanding fast-pitch softball game. Unfortunately, the Lady Cougars come up short and lose to the Butler Grizzlies, championship game of the Region 6. 6-5 was the final score. We'll get into some of the details in just a little bit. Still a great year for the Lady Cougars and head coach Carson DeBose, who's really bringing this program back up to the levels it was when Barton Hall of Famer Tom Curtis was at the helm. So we'll celebrate more today than look back at a great season for the Lady Cougars. Voice of the Cardinals and Cougars, Cole Reif, will be in. Talk everything sports and, as usual, other things. And we'll see what else that we put together here on the program on this Tuesday. Of course, we always like to get started with the sounds of the past 24 hours, so let's go. That's Brett McBride, pitching coach for the Barton Cougars. Fun talking to Brett yesterday and finding out his background. He came to Barton as a player in 2003 from Lawrence High School to play for Mike Warren. And he's been here pretty much ever since. He's 11th season as a Cougar assistant. He was talking about this year's Barton team that opens play in the best of 3 Region 6 playoffs tomorrow against Neosho. And what's made this team special? 26-6 in conference. They won the West. They're 40-11 overall. Likes the fact that there's a lot of balance on this team. And, of course, with the pitching, they're talking the offense, but it's the pitching coach talking about the offense. Says, yeah, we hit the ball out of the park a lot more this year. Some of it's wind-aided. But their pitching staff has been balanced. Starting pitching's been good. Relief pitching's been good. Midweek game pitching has been excellent. They'll get it started tomorrow against the Panthers from Neosho County and Chanute, who comes in here with a record of 24-28 overall. They finished 8th in the Jayhawk East. They cross-bracket these first-round series, and they went 10-22 in the Jayhawk East this year. It'll be a 2 o'clock start tomorrow and Thursday. Hopefully the rains stay away and they get these games in. If Game 3 was necessary on Friday, it would also start at 2 o'clock, Barton and Neosho County. Other first-round best-of-3 matchups, Butler will be on the road. They kind of stumbled down the stretch, and they ended up 5th in the Jayhawk West, so they're the 9th seed overall, and they open in Coffeyville against the Ravens on Thursday. And all the top seeds play. It's not like going back to Chanute if Neosho would force a Game 3. They're all 3 games are at the team with the higher seed. 12 seed Allen is at 5 seed Hutchinson. 13 seed Seward is at number 4 Cowley. 14 Labette County. I guess it's just Labette now. I always like Labette County. At Cloud County. Cloud County is still Cloud County. Dodge City, man, they can hit the ball. And the Barton Cougars saw that. Dodge is playing some pretty good baseball. We'll see what they can do in Kansas City, Kansas against KCK starting tomorrow. Fort Scott, the number 10 seed, will be at Colby. And Colby, a team that really came on at the end of the year to get it to where they could host a first-round series. And 15 seed Garden City is at number 2 seed Johnson County starting tomorrow in Overland Park. I thought it was interesting yesterday as well. This year's 8-team Region 6 tournament is going to be at Dean Evans Stadium in Salina and not X Stadium in Wichita. I guess the Wichita State Shockers are playing at home that particular weekend, next week, and that'll get underway next week. So hopefully the Cougars will be part of that. Okay, on to the Barton Lady Cougars. When we left you yesterday, Butler had scored a couple of runs and gone up 6-2. You thought, okay, well, they're going to go ahead and win this thing. Barton was just one win away. They won their first 3 games of the tournament, needed to win just one. Well, they tried to take care of business on Sunday, but Butler just caught fire at the right time, and plus they're a pretty good team as well. They ended up beating the Lady Cougars in that game on Sunday by the score of 9-1 in 5 innings. Then yesterday, leading 6-2, going to the top of the 6th inning, Barton rallied back. And top of the 7th inning, Lady Cougars down to their final out. They got RBI singles from Alina Bartlett and Carter Alford. And they're just one hit away from getting this thing tied up, but a pop-up, and that ended the game. Memorable season for sure, 35-16 overall, 3-2 in the tournament. They reached the Region 6 championship for the first time since 2021. It was, the Cougars were looking for the first Region 6 championship since 2015, and their first national tournament berth in 1993. But the Cougars come up just short, so hopefully we can talk to Carson DeBose about that game and, more importantly, the season and the direction this Barton softball program is going in. Kind of an oldie but goodie, but we drug one out. Carrie Minton, another comment following Great Bend's dismantling of Garden City last week, that doubleheader sweep on the road. They won Game 1 16-4. That clinched the Western Athletic Conference crown. Won the second game 9-3, and Great Bend just pulverized the pitching of not only Garden City, their best pitcher, Carrie Minton, talking about that, and sent her to the showers after 3 innings, or to another position probably. And then Riley Dreher, very good pitcher for Hayes High. Great Bend took her apart the week before in a 3-game sweep. So Great Bend now 18-4. They are alone in second now in the 5A West standings, trailing only 22-0 Mays South, who they won't have to worry about until hopefully they'd face them in the state tournament in the championship game. I don't want to play Mays South any time before that, especially what we saw they did at Dodge City in that tournament last week. So things looking pretty good for the Lady Panthers to host a 5A regional at the Great Bend Sports Complex at 18-4. They will play on Friday, a quadrangular in McPherson, and they will play Newton, I believe, first, and then it'll be Junction City and McPherson playing in the other game, and then the two winners play. That'd be a fun matchup because McPherson handed one of the Lady Cougars one of their 4 losses this year. I believe it was 5-1, and that goes back into April, so they may get another crack at them. They'll close out their season next week at home with a doubleheader against Newton. Panther baseball team, they will be playing today out in Garden City. Panthers are 16-4 on the season, taking on a Garden City team that struggled this year. They're just 5-11. Then Great Bend the baseball team will also join the softball team in McPherson on Friday for a quad there. They will play Junction City in their first game and then play either Newton or McPherson in the second game, whoever wins between those two teams. Second quad they've been at in McPherson this year, just like the softball team. And last time they were there, they played McPherson in that little mini 4-team tournament and beat McPherson 15-0. The baseball Panthers also are in second place in the 5A West standings, and they could really solidify that with a couple more wins today. They would join the Lady Panthers at 18-4. They're 16-4 right now. Those Kansas City Royals, they just keep doing it, don't they? Playing great baseball, and then here come the Chicago White Sox to town. White Sox have actually been playing pretty good baseball, especially when you compare to last year, and they lose 115, 16, 17, 18 games. But the Royals grabbed game 1 last night, winning 3-0. They beat the White Sox last year 12 out of 13 times, and had they not had that success against the White Sox, they would not have gone to the playoffs in the American League. 3-0 they win it. The call by Ryan Lefebvre, Michael Garcia driving home Bobby Witt Jr., the game's first run. Royals then just rode the coattails of Cole Reagans to pick up that 3-0 victory. Reagans, who missed his last start with a mild groin strain, came in averaging an MLB best 13.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. He allowed 3 hits, walked 2 in his 4th outing with 10 or more strikeouts this season, and is 9th in 60 career starts. 4 relievers finished a 6-hitter. Carlos Estevez, as he always does, got the save, and as he always does, put a man on base in the 9th, but you got to make it exciting for Royals fans. Bobby Witt Jr., scored a run, drove home another, stole 2 bases. Jonathan Indian after the game, talking about the Royals doing whatever it takes to win. He said, yeah, we want to support our pitching staff. Well, I guess they did last night with 3 runs, which is better than they have in some games this year. The Royals doing everything that they can right now. They have won 3 straight, 11 of 13. Game 2 of this 4-game series is tonight, 6 o'clock here on KVGB for the pregame show. Then it's, St. Louis Cardinals are in this weekend for 3, starting on Friday. All right, some other sounds of the past 24 hours or so. The NBA, the call last night, Aaron Gordon hitting a 3-pointer with 2.8 seconds left. Denver stuns Oklahoma City, 121-119 in OKC. That was game 1 of the Western Conference semifinal series. Russell Westbrook, who started his career with the Thunder, assisted on Gordon's game winner after OKC missed 2 free throws with 9 seconds to go. And so it's Denver, who fired their coach a couple weeks before the end of the season. And now they beat the Clippers in 7, and now they have a 1-0 lead on OKC. Clinton Yates from Clinton and Friends on ESPN Radio talking about the influx of 3-point attempts in the NBA. I'll just let him tell that story because this kind of lays it out for what I want to say.
The Celtics shot 63s in game 1. 60. 6-0, and missed 45 of them. That is an astonishing clip. All of these are NBA postseason records, just so we're clear. This is what we get, and this is what we deserve now as NBA fans.
Correct you are, Clinton. Correct you are. And that's why I'm watching hockey again. Not that I've kind of got away from the NBA the last 3 or 4 years, especially this year. I don't think I've watched an NBA game one time all year. But I know some of you like it, and, there's a lot of Nugget fans around. There's a lot of OKC Thunder fans in this area. But that's what it's gone to, man. 3-point shots, that's all it is, like watching a game of horse. 63-point attempts by the Celtics last night, and they got beat. The Knicks knocking off the Celtics in Boston in Game 1 of their Eastern Conference semifinal series. And again, not only did they take 63-point shots, they also missed an NBA playoff record 45 of those. And they kind of blew the game that they were in control of, too. They had a lead. Knicks came back to win it. So, but as a public service, and because it is May and sports kind of slows down here and we need sounds of the past 24 hours, we will bring you NBA highlights. ESPN's Adam Schefter on why he thinks the Baltimore Ravens release kicker Justin Tucker, although the Ravens haven't said that, but everyone else thinks that. The release of Tucker, one of the most accurate field goal kickers in NFL history, came after reports that he was accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by massage therapists. Allegedly, he was accused of allegedly inappropriate sexual behavior by massage therapists. Last weekend, Coach John Harbaugh suggested a decision on Tucker might come before the NFL completed its inquiry. Tucker coming off the worst season of his career. So you could maybe argue that it was performance-driven, but Adam Schefter and probably not a lot of other people are buying that. And our final sound of the past 24 hours or so, because it was a cool highlight, and Francisco Lindor, the shortstop for the Iuka Hustlers, hit a 3-run home run last night against the Hunter Huntsmen. Big series in Tiger Ball. That gave the Mets a 5-1 lead. Mets end up beating Arizona 5-4. Plus, Garrett Fitzpatrick comes in and helps host the show every once in a while. He's a big Mets fan. So, since we're not compensating him anywhere else, we'll throw him a bone and give him a highlight, even though it's an Iuka Hustler highlight. Francisco Lindor, 3-run homer last night. There you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. Cole Reif's on the show today. Carson DeBoe scheduled to come in as well. We'll have more Sports Day coming your way after this. But first, I want to tell you about Animal Medical Center because Landon Winkler's with us right now. And what's the big thing about Animal Medical Center, Landon?
They take care of any animals, big or small.
Large or small, they take care of them all.
There you go.
I just want to know if you're paying attention over there all this time. That is true. C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison in Great Bend, and by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Sports Day continues right after this.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Ready for a fresh start? This spring, Equity Bank is here to help you bloom into better banking with a $300 bonus. Receive $300 when you open a new Equity Bank checking account and use code FRESH, either in person or online. It's the perfect way to reset your routine and refresh your finances. Visit equitybank.com/fresh for full details and start your season strong. At Equity Bank, they never forget it's your money. Member FDIC.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Barton Community College's carpentry program is evolving to better meet industry needs. Barton is now offering construction technology, Workers are in high demand for the construction industry, and with hands-on training in framing, roofing, siding, and more, this program will put you on the fast track to join the workforce swiftly after graduation. This one-semester certificate will give you the skills you need to build your future. Enrollment is open now. To learn more, visit construction.bartonccc.edu.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
For the past 13 years, Sports Day has been the show devoted to local sports and local athletes. And it's all brought to you by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Sports Day also brought to you by Eller Automotive Repair. They specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Sports Day also brought to you by Great Bend Rec Commission, dedicated to improving our community and the lives of its individuals, and the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, featuring number 2 clear diesel, bulk fuel, E10 fuel delivery, all your lubricants, and fuel supplies. No Carson DeBose today, which is too bad because I know it was a really tough loss and everything. But man, what a season that the Lady Cougars had, and I know it is a tough loss. But I did want to celebrate the season that they've had, and it's cool to see Barton softball back up there in the mix in Region 6. So maybe Carson's running a little bit late. If she is, we'll open the door and she can come join us to talk about a tremendous season for the Barton Lady Cougars. Landon Winkler, our executive producer. So, Landon, say when you were growing up and a young man in what, La Crosse?
No, I always lived in Great Bend. I just moved to La Crosse.
Oh, okay.
So,
So you moved to the suburbs and then came back, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so in the Winkler household, when you were growing up, say that, mom's making, a good dinner you're looking forward to and everything, and then probably you're misbehaving out in the yard or you're playing in the street, and she has to go out and take care of that. And in the meantime, the meal gets burned. So what was the go-to meal when, the main meal had been ruined, or mom just didn't want to cook anything special that day?
The go-to was, I think, probably just a macaroni and cheese. But then again,
was it Kraft macaroni and cheese?
Oh yeah, the Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I would put that as a standalone anyway.
Oh yeah.
Throw some hot dogs in there, right?
And that's the meal for the night.
How did she make the macaroni and cheese?
Basically just got a nice big old bowl, like a big old mixing bowl.
Okay, so she just made it by the recipe, right?
Yep.
Okay. Have you ever tried Kraft macaroni and cheese? This is my personal recipe for you. Okay, so you go ahead and make it just like normal, right?
Right.
Okay. Don't use any milk, all right?
Interesting.
Because once you get the noodles out and you put them in a strainer, right? Mm-hmm. That pan's going to be warm, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, at that point, you have 4 slices of Velveeta cheese ready to place in the bottom of the pan, right? Okay. Then at that point, you put the noodles back in. Mm-hmm. All right? Then you get a big tub of Bluebonnet butter.
Ooh.
A big scoop. Not too much, but don't be afraid going over the edge just a little bit. Toss that in there. Swirl it around, get that mud, and you can't, because the butter's cold, so you don't want to disrupt the Velveeta cheese melting process on the bottom. Okay, so kind of mash it down in there a little bit. Give it just a little bit. That once it starts breaking down, Velveeta goes fast, right? Mm-hmm. Then you stir that in there, and then you add the secret of Kraft macaroni and cheese, and that's the cheese stuff, right?
Yep.
Put that on top. you should have a little bit of buttery liquid in the bottom of it. Serve hot. There you go.
So it's extra cheesy.
Oh, good, yes. It's extra cheesy, it's extra buttery. Anyway, what I'm leading to here, you probably wonder, where is he going with this? So sometimes when you're hosting a show, when the guest does it, it's just like, your main dish got
burned.
Yes, and so we need to come up with something else here. Cole Rife standing by. He will be in here, coming in his regularly scheduled slot. So we'll just go down some of the other headlines of the day, and feel free to chime in at any time. I want to get your view on these things, okay?
All right.
Okay. President Donald Trump announced the NFL Draft is coming to Washington in 2027. The plan is to hold the event on the National Mall with the Washington Monument, U.S. Capitol, and other landmarks part of the backdrop. That's going to be awesome. I know they had it down at, Union Station, down in Kansas City. That was pretty cool. Have you been to the National Mall, especially at night?
I have not.
It is incredible. I could see this being, that's where famous things have happened. I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King. Vietnam, the Forrest Gump when the girl, Forrest, and jumps in the water, right? That's where we're going to have the NFL Draft. That is going, oh, boy. Put me down right now. I'll bring you with me, Landon.
Sounds like fun.
Since you're getting married, you're going to have to ask for permission and probably do a whole bunch of things around the house for about 3 years, and then we'll take off. Okay. All right, what else we have here today? No, that's... Okay, so Mike Schilt had seen enough. So angry with plate umpire Adrian Johnson that he tossed his glasses. A tantrum by San Diego's manager followed the first major league ejection of star slugger Fernando Tatis Jr., and it fired up the Padres, who overcame a 3-run deficit in the 8th inning to beat the New York Yankees 5-3 and extend their winning streak to 6. Tatis ejected after a strikeout, causing Schilt to rush out on the field, threw his lineup card, and then his spectacles.
Can you imagine throwing your glasses, how much they'd cost you, how much you have to go to the store?
Well, these things are like $1 a piece down, and you get them at Dollar General. You can get dollar reading glasses at the Dollar Tree.
Well,
it's $1.25 now, but they still call it the Dollar Tree.
Right.
Well, so what's a memorable tantrum by Landon Winkler?
A memorable tantrum?
Yeah, something where you just kind of lost it for a little bit.
There was just one thing that went on, and it was like late at night at the station, and I thought I was just here all by myself, and I thought I could actually, let a couple frustrations out into the studio when no one can hear me. Then all of a sudden, a concerned Scott Donovan came by. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh, you weren't supposed to hear that."
Well, of course, and Scott Donovan was at the building like 24 hours a day anyway, so.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Okay, I think this is an oldie but goodie, but since, it's leftover day, right?
Yep.
Okay, so when I was playing baseball at Tabor College, we were playing at Ottawa. And our coach he was a football coach too, but he got fired at the end of the football season. So our new coach became our new coach was also he didn't coach anything else, but he was a biology instructor at Tabor College, Max Turman.
Mm-hmm.
God bless Max. He was such a nice guy. Not really a baseball coach, but when you have knuckleheads like me playing, right? Okay, so I thought the bases were loaded. I was on second base, right?
Right.
I don't know why I thought the bases were loaded. So I thought there's 3 balls, 2 strikes. You're running. Even though third base wasn't occupied. So I take off. I think there's only 1 out, too. That's probably the other reason. There's 2 out. So I take off for third.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the throw beats me by a mile, right? I'm going to third base, so I know I'm going to be out, so I start running toward the pitcher's mound. So I'm caught in a rundown between the pitcher's mound and third base, which you can't do. I mean, I'm out, but Ottawa, they don't realize that's the pitch. So the first baseman's coming over to back up the pitcher who's between the pitcher's and the umpire. No, he's out. And Max Terman, our biology instructor, who has turned baseball coach, takes his hat and as hard as he can, slams it down on the ground. He's making me look bad. Just, it's bad enough you get caught in a rundown between the pitcher's mound and third base.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm angry. So, I go off. Our dugout was on the first baseline. I take my batting helmet off, and I sling it kind of underhand. Well, the air kind of caught it. It caught some air, and instead of going into the screen, it flew up over the fence and into the stands.
Oh, no.
People are scattering to get away from this crazy person's batting helmet. So, I'm thinking, what would you think would happen if that's the case? I mean, you're done, right? I mean, you're probably off the team.
Oh,
you're not going to return to the game. And dear old Max Terman came over. Steve, you need to go back out there and play. He should have kicked me off the team at that point, but he didn't. I think he just wanted me to then have to go back out of the dugout and go to first base.
Do you think he required you to go and get the batting helmet first?
No.
Like the walk of shame?
No, because Curtis Carber, Keith Carber, he was like our team manager. He went out and got it. Brought it back in. There you go. My biggest tantrum of all time. So you've learned some good things. My biggest tantrum of all time. Also, Garrett Fitzpatrick, who is listening, and I hope he appreciated the home run call from Francisco Lindor. Also, macaroni and cheese served with a side dish of chicken skin. Yeah, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Ever go to Kentucky Fried Chicken? Why do they put chicken in there? Why don't they just serve it the Kentucky Fried Chicken skin? I would take a bucket of that. Leave the chicken out. That's the same thing that you're going to get any other place. Okay, there you go. Fill time is over with. Cole Reif coming up next here. I hope. He may not want to come in here. But anyway, it's his scheduled spot. It's next on Sports Day.
From the Mail Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no-obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Reif, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
This is Hadley, what's going on? I've been trying to call you for the past half hour.
Well, Papa, ever since you started this big sale, the phones have been like crazy.
That's a good thing, Hadley. And didn't I ask you to name the sale?
I did. It's a sale. It's so good you won't believe it.
Oh, Hadley. It is so good you won't believe it.
C&E Doors is offering steel on both sides 9x7 white doors for the same price as vinyl backliner doors. Call today.
C&E this is
Hadley, what's going on? I've been trying to call you for the past half hour.
Well, Papa, ever since you started this big sale, the phones have been like crazy.
That's a good thing, Hadley. And didn't I ask you to name the sale?
I did. It's a sale. It's so good you won't believe it.
Oh, Hadley. It is so good you won't believe it.
C&E Doors is offering steel on both sides 9x7 white doors for the same price as vinyl backliner doors. Call today.
He's the voice of Hoisington High School football, the Barton County Cougars, and the king of the tweeter machine. It's Cole Reif on Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sports Day today is brought to you for the time being by the Barmy Auto Group. On 10th Street in Great Bend, C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs, 10th of Harrison in Great Bend.
You know, I think it's a sign of a really good broadcaster when you can fill. Because there's a lot of folks, I mean, I think in radio in general right now, that they haven't had a whole lot of live experience. So, like, you know, if you don't do play-by-play, I'm not just saying just because of play-by-play, but, like, play-by-play, you know, you've had experience, you know, color of having to fill time. A lot of folks in this business, they don't necessarily know how to fill time. And so, like, I always felt like it was a good sign, not only as a play-by-play broadcaster, but just as a broadcaster in general, is if you can fill time when you don't have any action, so to speak.
No, there was no action planned except to talk to my coach, and then
So, like, hats off to you. That's
I appreciate it.
That's why you're a Hall of Famer.
In your vast play-by-play life, have you ever seen anyone get caught in a rundown between third base and the pitcher's mound?
Maybe in Little League, maybe in our T-ball, but no, that still hasn't even happened there. That's a special situation.
Well, yeah, but then when the other team comes up and the first baseman backs up the pitcher, who is guarding, I guess he's guarding the pitcher's mound because that's where I was trying to get to. The umpire, you guys are all idiots. He's out.
That's when you just retire. Like,
yeah. I thought I had, but
this game's going to be over.
He let me back on. He didn't even. Wouldn't you just send a display person like that at least to the team bus and just make him sit there?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, what inning was this? Like, did you have to sit there and just...
No, I had to go back in.
Yeah, see, like, so there's more game to be played.
Oh, yes, I had to go back out and man my I had to man my at first base.
People judging you.
Yeah. Yeah, Keith Garber, the manager, comes in. He's keeping score in the book, you know. I put your batting helmet over there.
Thanks.
Shit. I remember one time when Craig Fletcher threw a ball at a player, and then the player threw the ball back at Fletch, and then Fletch got a technical for that. I figured, wouldn't the umpire throw me out of that game?
Well, you think you can still, like, with Fletch, like, his own team. Like, yeah, why are you going to team? Unless it's, like, a huge distraction or a delay of the actual game. But if it's your own team, like, come on, like...
How can you
get mad at that, right? But I guess if there was a long enough delay... It wasn't a game ball.
And I've always used Max Turman. Why didn't the umpire throw me out? Maybe it's one of them things like that day at the Hutch Sports that he had never seen anything like that before.
You didn't even know what to call.
I don't know. I don't know.
Judgment call.
What do you want to talk about today?
There's some Barton news. There's some Hoisington news if you want to look into that. Where do you want to start?
I want you to bring something relevant to the show today. I have not been able to do that since the first segment.
Okay. Let's go with Hoisington. I was listening to the Board of Education meeting last night for USD 431. How about, we'll kind of all produce a story on this a little bit later on, but Mason Haxton, former Hoisington player, is going to be joining the coaching staff for the Cardinal football team this upcoming fall. So you'll have the father-son duo of Kyle Haxton and also Mason Haxton on the football coaching staff.
Is he going to teach, or is he...
No idea.
Okay.
As of now, all I heard was that he's going to be one of the assistant coaches. So maybe it's just an assistant coach role, but that's the gig
just
right now.
Just for football right now.
Just for football right now.
Yeah, because he's doing a lot of basketball officiating. He's doing really, really well at it. So he's probably, I'll do the football, but I'm going to... That'd be the thing I want to see. Is him come back and
officiate his dad's game? Well, I remember running into him like 2 years ago at somebody's graduation ceremony, and he had always, we had a conversation maybe 5 minutes or so, and, he had talked about, because he was at Fort Hays, and mentioned the fact that, he would have some interest in coaching eventually. He didn't necessarily pin down what sport he would want to coach, but I think he that was instilled for a long time with his dad, obviously being able to coach him in a couple of those sports throughout his high school career. So you kind of had that feeling he was going to get into coaching and probably teaching maybe at some points. And here's a great opportunity. You talk about coming back and a guy that did it at a really high level. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see just a young guy come back into Hoisington that had a lot of success and add to that coaching staff that's already really, really good.
Well, we've got an official shortage, so we don't want to pluck a good one off there. He did a Hays High, Great Bend. That was a couple years ago. So that's when he was really wet behind that. It was a JV game, but he carried himself very well. Yeah, and I've heard he's doing quite well on the court. Okay, good news there.
Yeah,
okay.
Kid had a lot of confidence. I remember especially, that was a guy that got thrown in the fire. I still remember that day. It was, we made the trip out to Wichita, and Hoisington was playing Wichita Collegiate, who at the time was like number 1 in the state in 4A Division II.
Oh, yeah.
And we had just got the notification that Hoisington's starting quarterback was out. So he's no longer on the team, and that was the first notice that I had going into it. I was probably really bad at prep at the time. And
no, you weren't, because no one knew about that until it was like...
It was I don't want to say it was game time, but anyway... I remember that, and they're like, "We're going to start the freshman. We're going to start Mason Haxton." I was like, I had high hopes on Mason, but maybe a little bit later on in his career, maybe next year or 2 years down the road, and he held his own at collegiate. I think Hoisington was up maybe slightly in the third quarter early on, and he had a great 4-year career.
I couldn't even imagine that.
No, especially on the road. Like at collegiate, was like they had Cody McNerney at that time, and they had I forget his last name, Macklin, Florlin, McDonald, I don't know, but he was some of the linemen that committed to KU already, and
I would have had to go from the shotgun because my hands would have been, I'd have been shaking too much getting down under center. Just shake it here. I'll just try to catch it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's when collegiate rolled out like an army, because I remember watching on the field and warm-ups, when Hoisington comes out and they're their groups, their special groups, and running backs and quarterbacks come out, O-line comes out, and then the rest of your defensive play come out. There's a decent size. Hoisington has always been around that 30 to 40, guys. And I remember watching collegiate that year, and all their special teams players came out, and there's 30 of them. I was like, man, that's a pretty good team, but Hoisington has about that same. And then someone tapped me on the shoulder. I don't know if it's Blake or Gene or somebody no, there's more coming. And then another group of 30 came out, offensive linemen, just big dudes. And then there's another 30 behind. It was nuts. Collegiate was maybe they still are. We haven't seen them in a while, but they were like an army coming out.
Did you walk through the parking lot? Did you
Collegiate in the cars?
Oh, it was. What's that sport where they ride horses and hit the mallet?
Yeah.
And people are around with tea, and they've got these fancy tablecloths, and they've got a half hog on the
cricket.
Yeah, cricket. Well, not cricket. I don't know what it is. It's that horse mallet thing that you only see at exclusive fancy clubs.
Which, if you go to collegiate, as far as the neighborhood is concerned, yeah, it's nice, whatever. But then, once you pull in, it's nice.
It's like royalty out in the parking lot.
Now, I don't know if all their facilities are that way. Because usually you would think a private school, this was a while ago. This was
just talking about the
2016
fans that come in there.
Not before after that, but yeah, I would agree. But campus-wise, some of those private schools still don't have necessarily the best facilities. But
if you just want to walk in and put a collegiate sweatshirt on and just walk around, and act like you're part of. You can. They've got squid. They've got shrimp. There's no burgers or hot dogs at them things. It's like a clam bake. Okay. Anyway, Barton news today.
Vivian Onaha, we were I think last week he asked me where she might be landing, and there were some thoughts, but nothing official. Barton came out, made it official, signing or committing with Florida Atlantic. What do you got?
I got 2 polos.
Polo.
my guardians up out there. Okay, yes, it was polo. Okay,
nice.
Okay.
Vivian, Florida Atlantic. She's going Florida Atlantic. That's now that one's official. So nice spot in Florida. Can't go wrong with the location there for her. And we talk about best rebounder I've seen in women's basketball. I think Vivian's got to be it. I mean, I think after her first year, I would have said like Jenny was still better. Taylor Regan was really good, but I thought Jenny was even better. And then, but by her second year, the way she was able to kind of blossom even more without Vera next to her, that's man, one of the best rebounders I've ever seen.
And she wouldn't let her teammates rebound either. I mean, she said, well, they've only got one person. Well, no one else could get one.
Yeah, I mean, they were good. They were decent players on the team that, had okay rebounding numbers that just couldn't get to it because Vivian would get that first spring up there, and it was just lights out after that. So, yeah, her ability to just not only, like, rebounding, you talk about, like, you always hear coaches, like, rebounding is a thing of want to. You have to want to go rebound. But, like, Vivian had, like, the positioning. She had the timing right. It just was, just always seemed like she was in position. And then, obviously, the athleticism, the height, just kind of took her over the top with being a really good rebounder. So, excited to see what she can do. I know Vera had a really good first year down in Arkansas. So, excited to see what Vivian can do on an even bigger stage.
The only bad thing about her name wasn't Ruth Smith.
Well, I liked it. Like, after the first couple of weeks, the first few weeks, it was tough between trying to figure out if it was Vera or Vivian on the floor and which one was which, but as far as name pronunciations go. But after I got it, I was just like Omaha, but
Onaha.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that
not too bad.
That tough, okay.
And she's also one of those players that is pretty strong just to go by one name, like, that's Vivian. Like, I mean, it wasn't like even like, it wasn't even like you were trying to dodge things or, get around the bush. Like, it was just like, I mean, she has a solid, that's Vivian. Like, you don't have to say that's Vivian Onaha. Like, that's Vivian. Cher.
You didn't come up like the
Vivian.
The big V or anything like that.
No big Vs. No big Vs.
You just mentioned a player there that, and I guess we're going back a little bit, but, I mean, I saw Taylor Regan play in high school. I'm like, she's a nice player. But she just didn't have any meat on her or anything. I did, well, okay, I guess Allen, going to get some local kid to come in there. And I mean, she could score, too. But then to see the way she rebounded and played and the career she had, I didn't really expect that.
She worked her tail off. And you talk about, athleticism and just being able to, like, kind of squeeze her way in position. I mean, she had good height, too. I mean, she was probably 5'10", 5'11", somewhere around there. So she had pretty good height to begin with. But you talk about, like, an all-around athlete at Otis Bison. And then, coming in here, you could kind of see that athleticism. Maybe the basketball skill set wasn't there initially for the Jayhawk conference level, but her, like, will and, like, her, like, fights, like that, I thought that's what kind of took a girl like Taylor Regan kind of over the top and made her really, really successful. And then she had, that trio, that was kind of one of the trios that I felt like started the reemergence of Barton women's basketball. Because, like, Allen had done a pretty good job in the first couple of years, but then, like, you talk about the team that kind of set themselves in a really good position was Taylor Regan, Jalen Stapleton, and then, Mallory Miller, like that three right there. Then they had some good post players that kind of came in and out. O'Dwall, who was the other one? Irene Shakwudi. Like, so they had some post players as well.
I don't remember them.
Yeah. I mean, they were good, but, like, that three right there, like, you talk about a class that got you over the hump. I mean, they made it. They didn't get to the Region 6 title game, but, like, just even getting to the semifinals at that time, I thought that was huge. And I remember, like, Allen saying that, we wanted to be in that conversation with those top 4 teams in the Jayhawk year in and year out, and that class, that's what started it.
Bill Faflick was on last week, and I told you about the interview, so and all of a sudden it was like 24 minutes long. Look at that. I was right on the, I broke his story.
Yeah.
He didn't even, and he said, well, I'm glad you mentioned that because you're going to see something about this coming out very shortly.
Now, are we going with shot clock, or what are you talking about?
the release that was just sent out on recommended participation.
Yeah.
In sports.
For 3 sport athletes?
Yeah, for 3 sports 3 sport athlete. What are they? Gosh, I only did the interview. I don't remember what was on it, but yeah, they sent a press release out on it. It's very interesting because it's, man, I couldn't be I'd have to be one of those one sport athletes because I couldn't do more than that because summertime was time to go fishing, play golf.
Yep.
Go play some Legion baseball, drive a tractor a little bit. Can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I get it both ways. I mean, I think in general, like if I'm a coach and I'm an athletic director, whoever, like I'm definitely going to encourage, playing different sports and not getting the burnout. I think that was the biggest thing that they used was the word burnout of that. But I also get it from an athlete standpoint. If you really like football, or let's say maybe not necessarily football. Football doesn't have necessarily specialty groups throughout the year. But like if you really like volleyball, or if you really like basketball or baseball, obviously there's so many options available throughout the entire year, but I mean, that's your sport. So maybe you don't like basketball or you don't like track and field, so you want to go do something. So I get it.
I don't know. It's not really, it's for the multi-sport athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't, I mean, if you play football, basketball, volleyball, there's going to be a camp sometime during the summer that you're going to have to attend for that, and then the summer's over with.
Yeah. But I mean, if you really like basketball and you wanted to play year-round, I mean, that was your sport. Like, you knew you just absolutely loved it and you weren't good at any other sport.
Oh, well,
yeah. So, I mean, I can see it from that angle, but yeah, I think by and large, when you're looking to become an all-around athlete, playing multiple sports, I mean, they've been saying that for years, and now at least you're kind of starting to see more and more backing from higher up coaches, if you will, and now administration.
To play multiple sports, yeah. But man, in the summertime, man, that was summertime.
Things have changed.
I would have, they have changed. Back in my day, yeah, it was football season, and it was basketball season, and then it was track season, except the one year that I didn't want to go out for track, so the coach, who was also my father, said, okay, well, then you need to go get a job. And then the only job I found was working on Patty John Farms, which was a huge pig farm south of Pratt. And then the next year I was back out for track. So
this isn't fun, is it?
No, I'd rather run 220s and 440s
and from a selfish standpoint, you know how like exciting it's been throughout the years of watching like standout football players play in like their off sport. Like, yeah, I mean, you can't really say like a kid like Ian Premer has an off sport because he's so good at all of them. But like, for a guy that's being heavily recruited at the Division I level for football, and like I know he's got some basketball interest in there as well, but he's going to go football. Like, you know how much fun it is to watch him play basketball and just how much of a freak, like as good as he is at football, he's just as good at basketball, and obviously he's good at baseball. Or even like watching, like I remember like watching Wyatt Pettigo for Hoisington, like how much fun it was watching him wrestle. Like, he was, you could say, just as good at wrestling as he was football, 3-time state champ. But, guys like that and girls like that, like it's just so much fun to see them in their off sport, especially if it's football. It's kind of fun to see them without the pads and then you can see like kind of more of their individual performance. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's just from a selfish standpoint as a fan perspective. Like, it's just fun to watch.
I got to see Jared Casey play a couple times.
Basketball?
Yeah,
that is good.
And you know why he's such a good tight end. He has great hands. He had good He was one of the best three-point shooters I ever saw.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he'd raise up. He was a husky dude, man. He was built like a trash can, man. I mean...
Yeah, his whole family. I mean, the Casey brothers are all really, really good. And he had to try out with the Chiefs. Jared Casey did. I think they moved on, but now he's going to go try out with the Miami Dolphins. So we'll see if he gets his opportunity. Yeah, I mean, for a Plainville Cardinal, man, he was pretty good.
Cole Reif helping us. I think I'm going to turn this whole show into the KAB. This is going to be the one that's going to push us over the top.
Ability to fill. Do you have it?
And you got to make it, semi-interesting or make fun of yourself is the biggest thing in there.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, and have Landon Winkler to tell his, getting hit in the stomach by a soccer ball. Of course, I think that was off air, but that's okay.
Was it the soccer ball? Was it was it indoor soccer ball or outdoor soccer ball?
It was indoor.
See, so a lot of times those are even worse because those are aired up a little bit more. those provide a thud. A little fuzz on them like giant tennis balls.
Haven't been an athlete unless you got kicked in the face by a soccer ball, have you? Cole, thank you very much. Sports Day. Tuesday, leftovers continue.
Ready for a fresh start? This spring, Equity Bank is here to help you bloom into better banking with a $300 bonus. Receive $300 when you open a new Equity Bank checking account and use code FRESH, either in person or online. It's the perfect way to reset your routine and refresh your finances. Visit equitybank.com/fresh for full details and start your season strong. At Equity Bank, they never forget it's your money. Member FDIC.
Pulling acres ahead of the competition is simple. Cenex Maxtron synthetic diesel engine oils give you the smartest oil for the toughest conditions. These premium oils are formulated with EnduroVis technology and a balanced additive package to control deposits for a cleaner, more efficient engine that gives you proven durability. Cenex Maxtron diesel engine oils. Oil that runs smart.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
Earn college credit and tackle your gen eds with Barton Online anytime, anywhere. With 5 flexible summer sessions, you can stay on track and reach your goals on your schedule and budget. At just $160 per credit hour, Barton Online is an affordable way to stay ahead, catch up, or explore something new. Enrollment is open now. Secure your spot today at online.bartoncccc.edu.
Dr. Caitlin here at Animal Medical Center. We're bringing in the savings this May. Get 20% off all Science Diet dog and cat food and treats. No coupon needed when you're here. Prescription diets are not included in this, but stock up and save big, but hurry. Stop by Animal Medical Center before May 31st to get your pets the high quality nutrition they deserve. Our team is ready to help you with all your pet care needs. Large or small, we take care of them all.
Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. It's all brought to you exclusively by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
All right, well, I think we made do here today. Coming up tomorrow, we are going to be heavy on baseball and softball, as we will have Carrie Minton joining us in studio tomorrow, as Lady Panthers not playing today. They will play Friday at that quad at McPherson, and she'll bring some players in. We'll tell you who they are, or just check out Great Bend Post tomorrow, or on the AM Great Bend show. We'll let you know who's going to be in. Also, Randy Beck's going to be in Barton golly, I just kind of keep my Cougars and Panthers straight this week. Great Bend Panther baseball coach Randy Beck will be in tomorrow with selected players. They're playing today out of Garden City. Hope they're able to get that in. Panthers trying to pick up a couple wins and get to 18-4. And we will talk to the voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers, Gerard Welbrock. Meanwhile, a lot of great listeners out there who will always throw a line to a couple struggling broadcasters. Appreciate Steve Coomer, Jeff Mahler, who knew that when you ride a horse and hit a ball with a mallet, that's called polo. Polo, indeed. Go to a collegiate football game sometime and check out the parking lot. Yeah, it's like people sitting around watching a polo match. Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow on Sports Day here on KVGB.